So basically this is a daily type frame. Right now we can see there's something I'm learning now, breaker and the rest of it. So and then this is relative equal high here at this point here. This is a relative equal high here. But what price is doing at this time and at this moment is very confusing, but we'll get them. So my normal thing will be from this low. This is a relative equal low, but from this low I would love to see this high. We're on EQ here now, so this is the range I am working with. We're on EQ at this point, and this is the mitigation, the daily mitigation block here. Which you remember what we were doing that day where we were trying to see that maybe price will come down and then go to mitigation, but it saw that it did what? It went to mitigation first and then eventually came down, like the way we in the 1 hour, the way we decided it. Now what can we see in this mitigation? This is the mitigation. We don't want to see the daily candle close above this, but definitely want to see it give us good premium and then we'll sell. So I am not bearish that this is because it's in EQ. It's at EQ here right now. I don't think I am all the way bearish like I was thinking before. Now the only part I can see here is this particular candle here. So I can draw this out and look at this as a point of concern, and we can see how it's in the close to the 0.62, right? Now with the way this candle closed, this was Friday. With the way this candle closed, took liquidity here, but it didn't take this upper Friday, that's last week low. I am looking at price to like drop down and come to here and then we'll buy up, because we must come here before we ultimately start going down to this point. We are coming down here. We are eventually coming down here. And let me put this we're eventually coming down to this point here. Yeah. So we're eventually coming down to this point here. But before we do that, I would love to see this mitigation tested. Obviously, this inversion fair value gap. So I can't put any low here to draw any range. So if I'm doing that, I'm very wrong. Drawing from this high to this low, these are liquidities at this point now that I really want to see price take. So tomorrow we might see this liquidity take. I want to see this taken. Eventually taken. This should be red. Okay, no. I'll leave it at that was purple. I'll leave this at pink. I want to see this taken into this particular zone, close above this other block here. Is this another block there, guys?
Yeah.
So I want to see price close above this other block tomorrow. Daily other block. Deep down, close above it. And then watch this is a sell side. This is a side. So I want to see this taken. Then ultimately I will get to see the low I will use to identify, because look at something here. This is not just right for us to draw this range here. It's not just right at all. you can see all of this, where the mitigation is and all of that. So what I'm trying to say is that this fair value gap here is where I want to see price come to before we see sales down. So I am watching out for this. Right. This is DXY, not green, this orange. I'm watching out for this. This is my mitigation block. Mitigation. This is my breaker for me. The day that came, it's coming back down. I think it's going to respect this breaker and buy up. But this is relative equal high here. So I want to see this to this point. Then whatever happens. So NFP and CPI didn't do much for us at all. We're supposed to see great movement to this point, and then we can get to see and be happy that this high will be run out like next week or upper week, but something is going on that we don't know yet, to be frank. So my idea is for us to see this run out tomorrow, to close above this other block, and then we see one of stop. So these are liquidities here. So let me put this. Let me use the other one. So these are as well our liquidities. We want to see price wants to take, and then we start buying up to the mitigation here. Go have to mitigate this whole run, and all of these highs will be taken later. So for now, I'm not bothered about these highs. If this is taken and touch the OB, fine. It can also still spike down and take these lows and close above the OB. So whatever the case is, it can still decide to want to come down to this point. But for me, I would love to see this low taken first, and then we see buy up to this point and ultimately sell down, because there is no way I want to see the price come here first before we go up to this mitigation block. There will be no point at all. This will not hold anything for me. So I would love to see this low taking, this other block being respected, trade back up into the mitigation, and then we fall down. But something tricky can still happen. You can see this low and this low. You can start buying up from these points too. So the only way I would want to see this mitigation taken is if this Friday high is taken. Friday high, not Thursday high, Friday high. If Friday high is taken, be blue by side. So this is why I will not trade tomorrow per se. Just watch. This is where, so this either this high or this low, not Friday low, 2 weeks Friday low, 2 weeks ago the Friday low, this side, either Friday, last week Friday high is taken, or this side is taken. Any of those movements will give us the direction bias of price. So I would love to see any of this happen, if at all. So for tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday. In fact, from Monday, Tuesday, I want to see either of these two taken. But till then, no problem. So that is my take. So that's my next week take on price. Any contribution or any correction, if at all?
Yeah, I would wait for that market to leave that column. It's in equilibrium, it's no probability. I cannot really say for sure what the market will do. I'll wait for it to hit the consolidation.
Okay, that's
I think at this time, this is when we should be trading cross pairs like GA
yeah.
or Bitcoin, like just something different.
So okay, so same. What am I saying here with gold at this point? So gold, this is the high here. So we are looking for gold. If DXY is to buy up to this point, so definitely gold needs to sell off to something, to a point. So if gold is to buy to this point here and sell to this point here, and then we'll buy up to mitigation, other pairs needs to sell off a little bit. So for the sells, so gold has created a high here. To me, this is the break of structure here. I'll take this as the mitigation block here. Mitigation took this high, so obviously a little bit of we're selling down to the mitigation here, then to buy up completely to take all of this high. I don't think this high will be put though, but we are coming down a little bit here. So this relative high here that happened, they are all respecting this OB here. And to be frank, this is another high here. This is a fair value gap at this point here. So I don't think this high should be run out. It should be run through rather. This should be a little bit secure to me at this point here. So if at all we are going up again, we still need to and sell. So this is another point here that I would love to highlight. But ultimately the movement is, we're targeting this point here, which is this fair value gap, and this is an OB as well. So there are a lot of points to really target and look at when trading this particular pair. I don't want to see it really come down here like that much. Because I want to see this, respect this OB, trade up to mitigation, and then sell down here.
It was on my iPod.
So which means I want to see this happen this way. It might not trade up to this point, I don't really care, because it's taking this low already. So since I've taken this low though, but all I care to see is this trade to come down to this point, and then we buy up. We buy up to take this high at the end of the day. But if we are buying up, but I don't want to see this taken yet, we respect this OB. So this price is at this OB here. I'm not sure this high will be taken, so I don't really need to. I think I will highlighting this particular one instead, because price is at the OB here, expecting the OB here. This is OB, the other block. and the fair value gap here. So we want to see price drop down from this point here. So there will be a very funny movement on gold tomorrow. So this fair value gap is being respected here. So definitely it is spiking, but it closed inside the fair value gap, as you can see, closed in it inside the fair value gap. So want to see the down movement to this point, this mitigation here, and then we buy up to see this high is taken, and ultimately we're selling down to take out these lows. So even if price, because this high was taken, even if price does not come to take this high later on, I'm going to set to mitigation. They really look for a reason why price will not want to buy up to that point, and then continue sales to take all of these lows. Because ultimately, if we look at DXY PDRA, we are bullish on DXY, but we just want to see fair value here before we buy up. So because of all of this situation here, so that is it for me. But I'm very much, I understand this price action more than even the gold for now first. But since the gold has reached a good reference point here, I'll just watch what is going to do. For now, maybe we can see a little movement and a little bullish movement, and this high not to be taken. We can check maybe the 4 hours and see. Yeah. So maybe this other block trade up to this point, or maybe take this high. We might take this high and we start seeing sales to the downside. Yeah. So basically this might be a mitigation later on for price. If it trades down to this point here and trade back up, can be a mitigation, but we need to see this high is taken. So this high needs to be taken tomorrow. So I'm really hoping for this high to be taken tomorrow, and then we see a fall down. So which means that even if for this high to be taken, we still need to see price still close below the other block as well. So this high is not to be tampered about.
Please, what's your PDRA? Like your swing high and low for this room.
So this should be from this low to this high. But this high.
No. I mean, it's not equilibrium there.
Oh, okay. This should be from this high.
That's it. Okay.
Is that equilibrium? But I want to see this high taken. But as far I want to see this high taken tomorrow, but close below the other block. So tomorrow this high might be taken, but close. So I don't want to see this high taken at all. This particular one taken at all. This is not a buy side liquidity. So this one taken tomorrow, but close below the other block for a sell down to this point, and then because of what I can see in the 4 hours, this can be a mitigation later on, and then we sell down. We start selling to take all of these lows. So I think, yeah, so this high to be taken tomorrow. So if I want to trade this pair for Monday to take this high as we are buying, justifies why I want to see this low taken to sell tomorrow on to this OB. So I think that is what I can see. Yeah. So my buyers for tomorrow is to see this high runs through, and then we see. So what is my ask myself what is my weekly target? So this is what I would love to see in the markets. This is what I would love to see in the markets. This to this point, up to this point,
So please check your weekly time frame.
and then down. I'm coming down to this point. Exactly.
I haven't really done much of the weekly time frame.
No, so you can see all of this. You can see this, all of this week.
You just suspended.
All of this week. So we'll have to see a movement. Take to this liquidity down here and then move up, and then we'll see that movement down. Direct sales from this point, I'm not sure, because all of this is a fair value gap. You can see this is a fair value gap, right? This low was not taken, so I would love to see this low taken. So that's why I'm very sure. So I want to see this low taken to validate this fair value gap very well for me. They will trade into the mitigation and then back down again. Break of structure here and then back down again. That's into this fair value gap, obviously. Trade well efficiently into this fair value gap. Cover up this week, we can see here, if at all. So we could trade maybe tomorrow, trade into like any of all this situation here. This is not the right way to draw it, sorry. We could trade into like %50 of this, and then we trade down to take this liquidity and then trade back up again. So next week candle can be very funny. So this is my, so I think everything looks good here. So this is my bias for the week. I want to see all of these points met, this OB mitigation block, and finally this situation, this point here, and then we see price. There's a fair value gap here, as you can see, but I want to see this low taken. So I'm aiming for this point here, and then we'll see buys to the upside to take all of these highs later on. Yeah, so that's my take on price.